Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have slacked a little bit on the video making lately. Just a lot going on. If you guys watch my recent video, I mentioned how we got some motorcycles stolen from us, so there was a lot going on with that. And that has been quite the process, I will say. When you're married to basically I say when you're married to like 6 people because you marry your husband's best friends, they definitely go in detective mode, like street justice detective mode. So that's been going on a lot. However, I think in my last video I discussed my review or thoughts on metformin, because I was on metformin. Well, I still am, but my doctor prescribed me metformin to hopefully regulate my cycle and help, I guess you say, support ovulation. So the plan was, metformin to regulate my cycle, number one, and hopefully in turn I would ovulate. So I did not ovulate. So this month was my first cycle of Clomid, and I start taking it. I take it from cycle day 3 through cycle day 7, and I started that over the weekend. We went to the lake for the weekend, so I was a little bit nervous because, it's like, okay, you have a weekend off and you go to the lake to enjoy it. I was just hoping that side effects wouldn't interfere with that. So right now I'm on cycle day 5, I believe. Yes, cycle day 5, I think. Anyways, so I started taking my Clomid on cycle day 3. I've got a couple pills left, and honestly, so far I have absolutely 0 side effects. Nothing that I can notice at all, like no headaches, cramping, anything like that. Not nauseated, although I have been taking it at night at 9 o'clock. Because I had read that a few people took it at night to avoid any kind of side effects or allow yourself to sleep through them. So I definitely took that advice, and that's what I did. So hopefully that's helping. But other than that, I really haven't noticed anything, which is super good. Because obviously, as a lot of you probably do, you Google about everything you possibly can about any topic of fertility or infertility or trying to have a baby or whatever. And it's easy to get your brain flooded with all of those things and symptom spot. I will say I'm pretty good at not symptom spotting. For me, it's like the opposite. If I look up things and I read a bunch of symptoms, I try my dangest to not let those symptoms occur. And so far that's working pretty good. So anyways, on my second or third day of Clomid, so far so good. So hopefully that helps this round. I'm only taking 50 milligrams to start off with, which I think is pretty normal. Most of the time your doctors will prescribe the lowest dose first and then see if that works, and they might try it again, and if that doesn't work they might up it, because I think you can take up to 150 milligrams. So right now I'm on 50. Hopefully that's all it takes. I'm feeling very, very hopeful, very good about this cycle. So as long as I get that positive ovulation test, I think I'm going to be feeling pretty good. So I'm really crossing my fingers for that. It seems super surreal because, you go into this like whole journey. If you're familiar with trying to conceive, or you've been looking forward to it and preparing for it, the possibilities. For myself, I had basically, researched irregular periods, everything related to that topic, so I kind of knew going into my first appointment that I would possibly have PCOS. So when I did have it, it wasn't near as devastating as it probably could have been had I not been informed or educated about things. So that was good. But looking back now, I just envision like my first appointment, kind of knowing what would happen, figuring that they would prescribe me some kind of medication at first, and just knowing that I'm here now and I am on my first round of fertility treatment, I guess you could say, my first round of Clomid, and I'm just so excited. There are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive journey, so there are a lot of ups and downs in this whole trying to conceive it's good to feel this way because I feel like there's a lot more downs than there are ups related to that, because when you're having trouble getting pregnant, obviously the one thing that would make it better is getting pregnant. So when you're not, I think it's inevitable that there's a lot more downs than there are ups. So I don't know, I'm just very hopeful, very excited. Obviously, I would love more than anything to get pregnant this cycle, but if I don't and I still ovulate, I still see that as a win for me, because that's just one step closer to everything lining up how it should be. So that makes me very excited. But I don't know, it's also weird because all of these things are happening, so it's like when I finally do get pregnant, it's like, will I even believe it? It's like, I don't know, I can picture myself being like, really? No way, there's no way. After all this trying, surely, it's just weird. I don't know how to describe it. But I'm just very hopeful and very excited. So if there's one thing I could tell you is just hang in there. Just hang in there, because it will happen eventually. And even if it doesn't happen immediately, there will be steps along the way that bring back your positivity and, refill your hope. Because I totally understand how upsetting and devastating it can be. Definitely been there, and I'll be there again, I'm sure. Hope not, but I'm sure I will. So anyways, that's that. I'm just really looking forward to it, especially because this summer we'll be going to Colorado. So I'm of course already planning out in my head how I'm going to announce it, which is me getting ahead of myself, but I think as a woman trying to have a baby, everyone does this. I think it's totally normal to plan the things that aren't even happening yet, like a wedding. I was planning my wedding before I was even engaged. It's normal. Women are crazy. That's what we do, is we just get ahead of ourselves. Yep, that's what happens. So anyways, I just wanted to jump on here and give you guys an update. After my first not full cycle, but full week of being on Clomid, I'll make another video next week in case something changes and I do actually come up with symptoms, which I told my husband, I was like, I'm really glad I don't have any symptoms, and he was like, well, not yet. And I'm like, oh, I guess there still is another 3 days or whatever, so it's possible. But that is the update. Metformin worked. My cycles are regular now, which is incredible. I literally was fighting that battle for so long and figured that would never be a thing for me, as having regular cycles. I mean, they're still a little irregular, but nothing like, 190-day cycle. They're within 20, this one was actually kind of early. They're within 26 to 35 days. So that's really good. Now it's just making my body release them eggs so they can get fertilized and I can have a baby. Also, I've just been thinking recently, twins. What if I had twins? Oh my gosh, be a blessing. Don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, it's crazy. So that is my update. I think that's all I have. Thank you guys for watching me. I hit over 100 subscribers, so I just want to say thank you guys so much. I'm just grateful to have the opportunity or the platform to be able to share any kind of knowledge that I have or experience that I have, or recommendations for people or things or whatever it is. So it's really cool to have people follow you along, and I love the people that comment. It's really cool to interact with you guys, hearing your stories. I've had quite a few things that I've taken away from your comments that you guys have left, just suggestions or things that you guys do that's worked for you, and it's just been very reassuring, knowing that there's this huge family out there and community for women who are all trying to conceive and kind of on the same battle. So it's really cool that you guys are following along. I'm definitely not as exciting as some of the big YouTube people, but that's not what this is about. It's about helping as many people as I can with my experiences. So that's what I'm trying to do. Also, one thing is I'm considering changing my prenatal. I now take the conception prenatal that I get off of Amazon. It's fairly expensive. It's like $29, I think, and it's for basically a 30-day supply. But I've begun to notice or feel like it's connected to me having a lot of acid reflux, which I have anyways, but it seems to amplify it a little bit. So then I catch myself not taking it. I know that's like the worst thing I could do. It's like, why would I not take it when it's supposed to help me? So then I like feel bad and I push through it and do it. But I was thinking maybe if there's like a good like gummy prenatal that any of you guys use that you recommend, I would really be interested to see what it is you guys take. So I did a lot of research going into picking the prenatals, so that's why I hate so much to switch, because I know that what's in it is really good and it had the most ingredients that I was looking for out of a lot of the prenatals I was looking at. So that kind of sucks, but please drop the prenatals down in the comments below of what you take. I would love to switch over. So that is what I have. I will be back next week with an update on the rest of my Clomid cycle. And then I will cross my fingers that I ovulate and cross my fingers that I get a baby. So that's the plan. That's always the plan. That will always be the plan. So can we just take a look at the beautiful, I guess you can't really see, it's a little bright. Woo! Really bright. Nope. Okay. That didn't work like that would. I love living in the country. You just breathe in the fresh air. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you. Comment below. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, let me know. Or any suggestions. And who else is in the same boat as me that is taking Clomid right now, please let me know. I would love some partners in this whole situation. So, appreciate you guys. And happy Monday. Happy Memorial's Day. And shout out to all the people who have served our country. So.